Chauke says although they understand the department has its own checks and balances, the affected individual could have been afforded the opportunity to plead their cases. Now, the newly appointed Human Settlements MEC, Tasneem Motara, promises to address the province's housing backlog pegged at 1.2 million. Gauteng is battling an influx of migrants, with more people flocking to the province in search of better economic opportunities. For a discussion on this, I'm joined by Luyanda Fitshane from Abahlali Basemjondolo. Appreciate your time this afternoon. Now, that housing backlog is obviously an issue. What is your assessment of the current housing backlog in Gauteng? And how effectively do you think the government's addressing this issue?
Hello, sir. Afternoon. What can I say about this? Because I think that the deadlock of housing in Gauteng, they are not just right now because he's even appointed. She's appointed right now, but at the end of the day, they can't come to the people who need these houses. Right, like my father, because I arrived at Johannesburg on 2000. Even myself, I've been on a waiting list for so long, and these people never come to the people who need houses. Because right now we're staying in squatter camp. In squatter camp, no one cares about us. Only when it's time to vote, she can make promises, but they can't come with any better life in according to this thing of deadlock of housing in Gauteng.
Luyanda, the backlog is 1.2 million houses, which is a huge number. What are your thoughts on the new MSC's responsibilities? What are your expectations? How do you think they should deal with this challenge?
I think if they just can come to this place and give people like a permanent stand, because if you give a saving stand whereby an RDP will come with electricity, with water, sanitation, if they can give these people, remember they say someone who's earning more than 3.5 can't get a RDP house. So, and this 1.2, I think they are just estimating, like us, as Luyanda live in Lindobushe settlement. And it's a new settlement. It's only have about 1 year, 8 months now. So they say to us, let us go to human settlement and apply for housing. And they will come and count us. Every day someone comes from Eastern Cape to Johannesburg, come from Limpopo, come to look for job opportunities, come and to find the way school. Remember, there is no colleges in Eastern Cape. So if they can just give us a service stand, water, electricity, and toilets, I think that's gonna be better. But if they promise us housing, they can't make it. They must come with the plan B.
So, Luyanda, just walk us through how young children in particular who live in informal settlements, and some of those obviously in hijacked buildings, are impacted when they do not have proper housing.
It's very bad. It's very bad because I think there is a show called Big Debate. They just visited us this year. We are the part of that big debate. The situation, the living conditions are very bad. Remember, we come from rural areas whereby they have a proper house. Maybe you are 18-year-old girl, like they're called Fezega, coming from KZN. It's 19 years old. You grow in a family whereby you have a proper family home. Then you come to stay in shacks, and you don't have these toilets, electricity, water. You can't even apply for school to apply for jobs because you need this Wi-Fi. You have to take a transport to Joburg, to Chimiston, whereby you can access this free internet. You don't have even a transport, and like now it's in winter. The sharks are burning left, right, and no one cares about us. And the living conditions are very terrible.
Now,
I think if
sorry, please carry on.
yes,
Carry on, please.
If they can take this thing of I'm coming from which party, they must work for to change poor people's life. Say let me bank them there until 2026, where they will come to this settlement and look for vote. After that, they will disappear for 5 years again. Then when they come to appointed a new cabinet, they will come with these promises. And they don't even know the living conditions of a settlement. If they can go to these sharks, that's why the people from sharks, they go to hijack these buildings because they don't have any hope. You can't go and rent whereby we don't even have job. So if these people, they can come to us, not only after they've been appointed, only when they want our vote, because right now it's 2024. Next year, they will come to us. They can't evict us. They can't, because they're looking for our vote.
Now, Luyanda, as a representative of Abahlali Basemjondolo, you represent hundreds of thousands of individuals that are living, beg your pardon, in these conditions, in these various communities that you speak of. Will you be engaging with the new MEC to put your demands, or certainly your expectations, or the expectations of those individuals that you represent?
No, because I think it's still early. But I think before this month, or before next month, I think we'll sit down, because remember, as an organization, not look after my Lindobuhle, like as a chairperson of Lindobuhle settlement. We have to sit down as Gauteng, sit down as a national. Remember, Abahlali, there are people in Eastern Cape, there are Abahlali in Mpumalanga, there are Abahlali in KZN and in Western Cape. So we need to sit down and see, because the living conditions might be bad, but not that similar. Like in KZN, you can see when there is these heavy rains, they also every time they get involved of the living conditions, bad living conditions. But in Johannesburg, there are also Abahlali in Johannesburg, and no one want to listen from Abahlali, because they want to think for us and decide for us. But if they can give us a room whereby I can sit down and say, here is the plan, you can improve our living conditions. We need 1 and 2. But the newly elected, I think she will give us that platform to sit down and discuss our situation.
Luyanda Fitshane is a representative of Abahlali Basemjondolo, unpacking for us their expectations of the new MEC as far as housing is concerned in Gauteng.